at 5. Some 2012 news now. Though Donald Trump is not running, he's certainly keeping himself involved in this race as much as he can. Just a little while ago, Mitt Romney met with the Donald, and here's what Mr. Trump had to say about that.
We really had a great hour together, and he expressed certain feelings that I didn't even know, where he was coming from, and I was impressed with certain things he said, absolutely. What I want is a great president. Even if it were Obama, I'd love to have Obama be a great president. I'd be very happy. Whether I'm a Republican or a Democrat, doesn't matter. I would love to see Obama finish off really strongly and do a great job. I don't think that's going to happen.
So Mitt Romney, this past weekend, he won the Michigan straw poll. We talked about the Florida straw poll earlier, in which Herman Cain won. One point I wanted to make is that in the last 5 weeks, there have been 5 straw polls, and a different person has won each of them. Cain, Romney, Paul, Santorum, and Bachmann. Remember, Michelle Bachmann won in Iowa. So, Bob, do the straw polls matter?
No, they don't matter. And by the way, that the Mitt Romney won in his home state or one of his home states is a big piece of political news right there. The only thing that I didn't understand is why Perry even went up there. I mean, with somebody like that, let him have the straw poll. You could waste more money in presidential campaigns, believe me, I've done it, in straw polls, chasing these things that are meaningless. This thing in Florida will be meaningless in a week. That GOP chairman down there ought to be meaningless in a week. But the thing about Donald Trump, can I talk about that for a second?
Sure.
I happen to think that Donald Trump actually is a nice guy. But why we give this attention to this guy, why these people are Trump. Now, if he's giving him a lot of money, then I can understand why you go see him. But I don't think he is. Well, then why do it?
Well, he gets a lot of media attention, and his voice carries some weight, right?
Where?
I agree.
Can I say
Everybody
something,
does
though?
it. It's like the come to Jesus.
Yeah, but why?
I think it's funny.
He might as well come to see you.
I agree.
That'd be great.
Well,
come on down.
He's like that weird soccer parent that always keeps wandering onto the field during the game because they're just doing. It's like, no, if you're either going to play or you're not going to stay off the field. But he's a little disingenuous there, saying that he wants Barack Obama to be a great president after spending a year trying to say the guy doesn't have a real birth certificate. I mean, come on.
Well, by the way, I got thrown out of my daughter's soccer game for doing just that.
I can see that.
Well, Herman Cain is going to meet with Donald Trump on the 3rd.
Ooh, there
and
you go.
One of the things I think that was kind of worth maybe pulling up is the Democratic National Committee today. These ads go back and forth, and they try to be very clever. This one is about Romney and Trump.
Are we actually going to show one from the Democrats?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Because it's so dumb.
It's terrible.
Mitt Romney and Donald Trump are meeting today. Well, they do have a lot in common. They have both done well for themselves. Both support an economic plan that would help out the richest and the big corporations, but not the middle class. That would slash Social Security, end Medicare as we know it, cut funds for health care, research and development, and schools, eliminate investments that will create jobs and keep America competitive. And what do the American people have to say to those who would return to the same failed policies that created our challenges?
You're fired. You're fired.
You're fired.
I've actually never been told you're fired, so I worry about what that would feel like. But Kimberly, what did you say? You were laughing during that ad.
Yeah, because Donald Trump, they asked him about it on Fox and Friends, and he's like, first of all, it's a truly pathetic ad. Is this the best they can come up with? And he said, and I'm insulted because my plane is much better than that one that they showed in the picture, which is
last week, Eric, when after the Fox debate, when Mitt Romney, a lot of people felt like he brought his A game. He looked like he could be the presidential candidate, and Republicans are looking for the Republican they think can beat President Obama. Now, do you think that the little tit for tat that's going on, I can't believe I just said that word, that Perry is in trouble at all when it comes to the perception of could you be the president of the United States?
Because of the debate, what was going on back and forth?
And the fallout, I would say the fallout.
There's no doubt Perry didn't have his best debate, and he needs a lot of work, and his staff has to really prep him on the right way to answer questions, even if you don't know where you're going to go with it, find something better, find a better place to go to. As far as meeting with Donald Trump, they all have done it because here's a guy who's got some great policies on foreign policies is by far of the best we've heard.
Like which one?
China. You have to agree with him on China. He is absolutely a staunch advocate of being tough on China. Absolutely. On oil, on dealing with the Saudis. I mean, the man
Can we talk about something
the man knows
important
how to get
in
jobs
2012?
back to America.
Okay, can we talk about somebody important in 2012? So we're talking about Chris Christie now. We just
Yes.
heard these rumblings again. The Republicans clearly are not satisfied.
Yep.
I want to make a prediction here right now.
Oh, I love it.
Chris
Here we go.
Christie gets in this race.
Yep.
He will be blown out so bad. All the expectations that guy's got, going over to Jersey and doing what he's done in Jersey, and to try to take that persona out to the country, the guy is going to get massacred. Go ahead and run, Chris.
Greg,
I disagree.
Of course you do, because you live in this media market. You think the guy's actually cool.
No, wait, here's the thing. He's actually the most anti-media guy I've come across. He doesn't care about his weight. I find that refreshing. He doesn't use a teleprompter. I find that refreshing. Did I tell you he's fat? I find that refreshing.
And I'll tell you
he's
all
really
that-
fat.
He's
I like that.
I got nothing against fat people, believe me.
I know.
My colleagues. But listen, without a teleprompter, you're going to learn something in presidential politics. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. And that boy is going to make a lot of
But
mistakes.
he's very smart, okay?
Yeah, he was a prosecutor. Oh, that's right. That's what you think.
I'm telling you, he's a prosecutor. He's great on his feet. I think he's a really great public speaker.
Running for
and he's very
president.
engaging.
They need him. I see him debate.
Eric, you
Can
make
I
your
agree
point.
with Bob? I mean,
Yes.
I love Chris Christie, what he's done with the unions, but there are a lot of things he did in Jersey. He made a lot of deals that we're only seeing the tough negotiations with the unions. A lot of that stuff is paid for off budget, where he says, yeah, look, I'm going to agree with you. It's a tough world out there. I'm not sure he's ready either.
The Republicans are tougher on their candidats than anybody.
They
I mean,
are.
they
You know
make,
why? Because
yeah.
they're all waiting for a Ronald Reagan. They better get through their head there ain't going to be another Ronald Reagan. And frankly, if Ronald Reagan was around, I don't think he'd like this Republican Party the way it is today. But leaving that aside,
Oh, you
there is no Ronald Reagan. Get over it.
crazy,
But
man.
speaking
You
of
don't
Ronald
like any
Reagan,
of them.
Governor Christie.
Of course I don't like it. They're
But I mean,
Republicans.
be honest. Can you pick one of them that you think would actually be a credible candidate to face Obama? I mean, you don't like anyone.
We're going to have to run. Hold that thought. Governor Christie actually giving a speech tonight at the Reagan Library. But we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about this story. Coming up, tensions over union disputes reach a fever pitch. A patient died during a nursing strike in California, but was the strike responsible for the death? The five of us are going to debate that coming up next.